Ya tengo mi tecito listo para seguir disfrutando del 80 aniversario del British Council. Hoy vamos a conocer a Paul D Quincy. Acompáñame. Cuéntanos cómo fue tu primera llegada a Venezuela, cómo fue esa experiencia.
I remember my first arrival in Venezuela was late in the afternoon, and the sun was just going down, and I couldn't imagine that I'd come to a country as beautiful as Venezuela was in those days. But the backdrop of the Avila and the mountains and the sea was just fantastic. It was unbelievable. I mean, I had probably the best years of my life, and I was with my family there for 5 years, between 93 and 98.
¿Qué destacas del trabajo que ha realizado el British Council en nuestro país?
In those days, between 93 and 98, English teaching was very important, and we were just starting out on running British exams. But the English teaching was so important. And then we did a lot of work in the arts, a way of reaching millions of people. And, we had jazz festivals. We invested heavily in classical guitar recitals. We worked very much with the Orchestra Sinfónica, with José Abraham Abreu, and youth orchestras and the youth orchestra movement. We had exhibitions of sculpture. I remember one that was with the Museum Sofia Imber, which featured Richard Deacon, one of the great British sculptors. We had exhibitions by Alan Davey, for example, and many photography exhibitions. And then we focused on disability and inclusivity in the arts. I sort of understood that art was for the elite in Venezuela, and I set about trying to show that art could be inclusive as well, because we brought out some disabled dance groups. One of which was Kanduko, which is a very famous mixed ability dance group, just to show that arts was open to all. And then we did a bit of education work with mainly with the higher education institutions, Universidad Central de Venezuela and the Metropolitana. So there were lots of things going on, actually.
Estamos compartiendo recuerdos y queremos que nos hables de la época en la que el British Council tenía varias sedes en nuestro país.
When I arrived, we only had one office in Caracas, and that was in Torre la Noria. So I set about moving the office to Chacaito, which is where it is now. But also we had no offices outside Caracas. So previously we'd had offices in Maracaibo and Ciudad Bolivar. I think I opened the Maracaibo first, and Maracaibo office first, which was basically a teaching center. And then a few months later, I opened the office in Valencia, also basically a small teaching center. We ended up closing those offices, both of them.
Cuéntanos un poco sobre esta nueva sede. Entendemos que llegaron a esta nueva sede mientras estaba en su periodo. Entonces cuéntenos de ese traslado.
That was quite an exciting venture, moving from the 15th or 16th floor of Torre la Noria. So first of all, I had to find the office. Then I had to work with Venezuelan architects and Venezuelan builders. I was quite proud of the fact that at the end of the what seemed like a very long process, we came out with a beautiful, modern, contemporary artistically designed office.
¿Cuál es tu deseo para el British Council en este 80 aniversario?
Well, you know, having survived 80 years already, I hope you survive the next 80 years to 2101. That would be fantastic.
Me emociona saber que el British Council ha evolucionado tanto en estos 80 años. Yo soy Carmen Domínguez y seguiré investigando sobre la historia del British Council en Venezuela.